Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. It's wonderful, it's wonderful, it's wonderful life. It's wonderful, it's wonderful, it's wonderful life. Thank you for these friends, Spirit. Thank you for these friends. Thank you for these friends, Spirit. Thank you for these friends. These beautiful, these beautiful, these beautiful friends. These beautiful, these beautiful, these beautiful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Good morning. Good morning. We've all survived. Thank you, Marilyn. That was awesome. Thanks. Got in on one last hearing of Don McLean's Starry, Starry Night. Thank you.
So beautiful.
Right. Okay. Any prom goers? Thank you for such a fun and starry, star-filled night. It was just gorgeous, and yeah, for all your generosity and help to make that what I am saying it was a total success. Brenda will be tallying up all the numbers, and we'll announce that next week, but I think we did really well, so thank you all. All right, and this Wednesday night service will start at 7 p.m. and it will be evensong. You want to say something?
Yes, one of my most favorite things we do here, as we call that opening to the presence within, using song and silence. And we do that in candlelight. So I look forward to that on Wednesday.
Next Sunday will be our potluck and workshop, and the title of that workshop following potluck will be Thanksgiving and Release. So I hope you can all join us for that. And then the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which I believe is week after next, yeah, it will be a potluck Thanksgiving dinner here at the center. We've done that before, and it's always really, really wonderful. We'll talk about priming the tummy for Thanksgiving Day. Really wonderful, very special event, and we are looking for some folks to step forward and be in charge of that, to get it organized and to put that on. Brenda will be heading, I believe, to New Mexico for Thanksgiving to be with her kids down there. So we're looking for that, and there'll be a sign-up sheet on the table over there. And today, after the service, is Talking Stick Review Board. Jeffrey, would you mind standing and saying a little bit about that in a very loud voice?
So if you don't know about Talking Stick, it's just a time to discuss whatever's on the, and I have no idea what the message is today, but anyway, we'll be discussing. There's some papers in the backs of the chairs if you want to take notes, but we'll be in the awesome purpose room today, and we'll just discuss a little bit about what goes on the message today. So, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. I go as often as it makes sense for me to go, and it's always enriching, so I hope you can join us. All right, let's speak our vision statement now. This center offers a path for awakening to the realization of oneness, open hearts, inspired life, empowered love. Our spiritual community welcomes all people to embrace oneness as the truth of our being. Together we see a world of love, peace, and abundance for all.
In this quiet stillness, please join with me as I consciously turn to that one presence, the one life, the one power, the source of all things. And dwelling in this energy of creation, I know right now that this one presence is my life, living in and through myself and each one of us for we are all one, united in spirit. Together we open ourselves to the newness of this day, being made new by the renewing of our mind. Divine life expresses through each of us as compassion, beauty, joy, love, and wisdom. We enter each day with enthusiastic expectation of good things to come, unfolding for our highest good. We welcome and are open and receptive to the many blessings and the many opportunities that emerge through our life. And it's in great gratitude for this life that we shine our light, that we bask in the oneness with the divine and with each other. And I turn my awareness to the request in the prayer chest, knowing that each desire is centered in divine power, that Spirit lifts and energizes each desire in abundance, wisdom, health, joy, and compassion. Each request is answered in the spirit of wholeness, of perfection, of timeliness, for all is in divine right order. And this is being made manifest right now. And today this gathering is blessed. All the activities and participants are all blessed, especially our volunteers who make this a wonderful occasion for each of us, for the message, for the music that opens our spirit, our consciousness to a greater awareness. So I am thankful for everyone here today. I am thankful for this gathering, for this is an activity in the mind of God. And so in great gratitude for all that is transpiring, all that is to come, I release these words into the action of the law, knowing it is done. So all together, we join together and declare, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, get ready.
Good morning. I feel like I'm on the Lawrence Walk show with all the bubbles. I would like to remind you of the prayer chest just down the stairs to the left. If there is something troubling you, something that's not quite right in your life, you'd like a little extra prayer, please put your name in the prayer chest, and the practitioner will be doing a permitted prayer this week for you. Gratitude is the path to wisdom, the escape to self-peace, and the nourishment of happiness. Marinala Reka. Gratitude is an appreciation for every moment in your life. It is a feeling of abundance. From Brenda Nathan. And from Robert Louis Stevenson, like a bird singing in the rain, let grateful memories survive in times of sorrow.
Thank you, Lou. Isn't she a rock?
Yes.
Sorry. It's in here somewhere. All right, here we are. So today's message will come to us from Hollywood Center of Religious Science, where Reverend Mark Vieira is our minister, is the minister there. But today's message comes from Reverend Sidney Steen.
So here we are in November, which means I have to take a sip of water. Hold on. Holy cow. How did we get to November? How did this happen? All right. You know, I thought about discussing something other than gratitude, and I thought, well, I can't do that. It's November. You got to talk about gratitude. And, you know, I know that we come together in our churches and our centers and our study groups because we have the desire to live lives of great peace, greater love, and hopefully greater compassion. So we have this wonderful heart-pulling intention, and it's wonderful. And there's one common thread that I know we can weave for the rest of the year that will help us so we live not in quiet desperation, but in mindful celebration. What do you think about that? Does it sound appealing? I think it sounds, you know, thank you. Well, thank you. It's so easy to get caught up in this time of year and all the activity and the things that we have to do and the lists, oh my gosh, the endless lists. So, but what if we really intentionally said, nope, I'm not going to live in this desperation. I'm going to live in celebration. You know, we teach a lot here. In fact, it is our main purpose about how our thinking and our beliefs create our lives. And part of that understanding, regardless of whether or not we are fully aware of what we are thinking and believing, our thoughts still create our lives. And that's the thing. You know, we may not be fully conscious of this. We may be just beginning on a path to a different spiritual awareness or unfoldment, and yet you kind of think it's not really fair that suddenly, you mean all that stuff I've been thinking all this time had something to do with the way I am and who I am and where I am right now? It does. Ernest Holmes wrote that ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. And that idea is that ignorance, not knowing that's a spiritual law of cause and effect, does not excuse anybody from not living according to the results of that which we have done or thought or created, right? You could call it instant karma, or you could just call it cause and effect. Just as we might not fully get how the law of electricity works, here's the thing. If you and I stick a fork in an electrical outlet, we will indeed get a shock, whether we know how electricity works or not. The outlet doesn't care if we are nice people. It doesn't care, and it doesn't know if today was the day we let someone in front of us at the grocery store, or if we were the ones who actually, were not nice and cut someone else off on the 405. The law of electricity works the same for everybody. The law of gravity works the same for everybody. Spiritual law works the same for everybody. So, cause and effect. Here's really what I want us to be aware of. If we are looping on thoughts of lack, fear, pain, loss, anger, resentment, or regret, we are actually creating more lack, fear, pain, loss, anger, resentment, and regret. And that's because what happens is that we basically are vibrating. We start to vibrate at that frequency of lack, fear, pain, loss, anger, resentment, and regret. Because it becomes that which informs us. It is the energy field that we carry with us and around us. So there's a wonderful book called Power versus Force by a guy named David Hawkins. And he wrote this: all of the great teachers throughout the history of our species have merely taught one thing over and over, in whatever language, at whatever time. All have said simply, give up weak attractors for strong attractors. Give up weak attractors for strong attractors. So how we apply it here is that we want our beliefs about what enriches us, blesses us, feeds us, supports us, to be what he calls the strong attractors, right? We nourish our thoughts with our feelings, with our emotions, with our actions. That's how they become strong attractors. Strong attractors are those thoughts and ideas which have feelings behind them. Unfortunately, it's just as easy to have the feelings of anger, resentment, and fear behind our thoughts as it is to have feelings of peace, joy, love, and appreciation. It's just as easy to fall into one side as it is the other if we're not paying attention. So it becomes our responsibility to have respondability. You get what I'm saying? We are accountable to ourselves what we are thinking. And we have the choice, and it is a profound and powerful choice. It is agency. We get to choose. Are we going to react from what is going on? Are we going to take a breath and respond from a place of that strong attractor, that wisdom place, right? We often say that we don't pray to God here, we pray from God. We don't think to God, we think from that mind of God, that infinite intelligence. So it is that we know we are fully sourced and filled with that presence. We are filled with that presence. We must be attentive to what and how we are energizing our thoughts with our feelings and our beliefs if we want, and this is the thing, if we want to experience a shift in an upward direction. And that's what David Hawkins talks about in his book, is that the vibrations, the lower frequencies of anger, of resentment, of ego, of all of that stuff, those are the lower ones, but they can be very, very seductive and very easy to form habits around. But if we want to rise, we must become conscious, and we must shift out of those lower, what he calls the memes, into the higher vibrations, the higher energies, the higher frequencies of those things which lift us up and really, truly do what we would like to do, which is heal the planet, right? Heal the world. Where our thought goes, our energy flows. We hear that all the time. Where our feelings flow, guess what? Our lives will show. Our lives are going to show. So we teach here that we are expressions of God, and that those qualities of God that we really desire to have, they're already inherent within us. They're already inherent within us. And they are calling us to recognize, and those qualities like love, like joy, like peace, like generosity, all of those things, they're already within us because we are, in fact, being called from that greater presence within us to demonstrate those qualities of God around us. You know, we can't give what we don't have. So we do have that presence of love within us. And so we are seeking to express more of it. You know, it is truly the idea that what we are looking for, we are looking with. What we are looking for, we are looking with. So often you're going to hear Dr. Mark, you're going to hear me say, what is true about God is true about you and me. And that we are the way that God, this presence, this life, this light, whatever you choose to call it, has chosen to celebrate life in form. We are the ways that God shows up in the world. We are the form that God takes. But for a lot of us, the forms that we are experiencing in our lives don't feel like they necessarily line up with the qualities of God we talk about, right? It feels like something is disconnected there. And why is that? Why is that we can talk so much about spiritual truth, the qualities of God, the gifts we are here to bring forth as our very expression in the world, and the nature of spirit as us, and yet in human world, on planet Sydney, we may really be living as anything but those divine qualities of God. And we feel really, really incongruent. So I think that it feels like there's a huge disconnect between this divine ideal over here and this human experience right here. Anybody experience that disconnect where sometimes you feel, okay, I know what I want, I know what's possible, I read all of this stuff and I know and I'm really doing all of this work, and yet I am not fully experiencing that big embracing sense of, oh, yeah, okay, oneness. Okay, I get it, oneness, right? So, at the same time, when we try to work with things like affirmations, and then we go for our rituals for sacred intentions, we do visioning, we create vision boards, you know what? Sometimes that huge disconnect just feels like it gets bigger and bigger. Because we go, well, I want this over here, and I get really excited about it, but it seems like it's in the distance and getting smaller and smaller. Anybody else experience that sometimes? I know I do. It's easy to want, and it's even easier to see that what we want hasn't shown up yet, right? And so I'm not here to drag everyone down, by the way. Yeah, Sydney, lighting up a room again. I have a practice that bridges the gap between what is going on that we don't want and what is so dear to our hearts that we do want. How do we bridge that? And so this is a practice. We're going to work on this tonight. It's a gratitude practice of both thanksgiving and compassion for others. So it stands to reason that if we want to experience lives of love, harmony, wholeness, peace, possibility, abundant supply, we must, at the very least, disrupt the habitual thinking that opposes and resists the nature of God and our so-called limitless potential. We have to disrupt those thoughts. Now, you could, of course, put a rubber band around your wrist and do that, but here I have a rule: no pain, no pain. So if you are here often, you may think that we talk an awful lot about gratitude and thanksgiving. You might think that we talk about it way too much. Yet the whole reason we do it is because when we are in those places and spaces in our lives when we can't find the love, we can't find the faith or the hope, or even a small sense of agreement with God, or a small sense of agreement with love or peace or possibility, we can still find something to be grateful for. We can still find something. I know we can. And that's where we start. As we breathe on that little spark, we kindle it into a flame of bigger feeling. It's the feeling that carries us from wherever we might be lost or stuck to a place of heart, of warmth, and remembrance. Because that really is the truth of the spiritual journey. We remember, we forget. We remember, we forget. We remember, we forget. We remember, we forget. We remember, and hopefully always at a higher level, right? The remembrance of how it feels to be even just a tiny bit grateful is as a magnet to possibility. Just that tiny, tiny little magnet. And here's the rule that sages, saints, mystics, and mothers have tried to teach us since the dawn of time. Gratitude attracts more to be grateful for. Gratitude attracts more to be grateful for. Does that make sense? Because the more we feel gratitude, the more we become magnets for more experience and events, and yes, the stuff to be grateful for. And again, David Hawkins wrote, truth is verifiable only by identity with it, not by knowing about it. So this has to go beyond an intellectual experience. We can observe spirituality or we can live spirituality. And that's the thing that I like about this teaching and I like about New Thought, because we're not talking about observable spirituality or observable mysticism and metaphysics. We are talking about practical, practicable, applicable. These are spiritual laws that we can actually use, that we can live in and as. So when we can identify with the feelings of love, compassion, wonder, and discovery, it allows us to live in a place of truth. That's that capital T, truth. And we want to live in truth, not merely intellectualize it or just discuss it. You know, you can discuss it all you want, but unless we're going to live in it and identify with it, it doesn't become ours. You know, and just as we need to own those things that we know might hold us back, or the behaviors that are not serving us, we have to own our knowing of who we are as spiritual beings. We have to own that relevance and that resonance. We have to own that context. So November, I think, is a good month to reinstill and reinstall our practice of being grateful. And one of the things I understand is that when we preload gratitude into our day, the rest of the day is better. Right? When we just preload it before anything else happens. Well, coffee first, then gratitude. The other thing that I understand is that it often requires an open heart before the gratitude practice, right? It requires something that will unlock us even more so that those feelings have a space to be awakened once again. So I'm going to sing a chant for you in a minute. And I invite you now to just listen and take it in. Let the words fill your mind, your heart, and your spiritual body, your physical body, your mental body, with the awareness that when we bless someone and wish good for them, our own experience of good is activated and it's uplifted. Okay, if you'll give me thank yous. May all beings know love and peace. May all children be safe and warm. May forgiveness flow through every heart and soul, and may we shine through every storm. May all beings know love and peace. May all children be safe and warm. May forgiveness flow through every heart and soul, and may we shine through every storm. May all beings know love and peace. May all children be safe and warm. May forgiveness flow through every heart and soul, and may we shine through every storm. And may we shine through every storm. Do you feel your heart opening? It opens to a place. So now we can begin. Now the work can begin, right? We have a lot of storms going on in our world right now. And they're calling us to shine through them. Just like the song says, may we shine through every storm. And you also may be wondering, how is it remotely possible to generate a sense of being grateful for something when the storms of life are raging around our precious planet? In fact, you might think that it's even maybe indulgent or narcissistic to count your blessings when it seems like so many other people don't have blessings to count. And sometimes it can feel like that. You know, we do in this is a first world problem, feeling guilty for all that we have, feeling guilty for gratitude, right? But do you know that your feeling guilty for your life and your good doesn't rob anyone else of theirs? Do you know that? To be clear, I didn't say we should gloat. I said we need to be grateful. We need to feel gratitude. And we do want to heal this world. We really, really do. We want to dismantle those systems and values which have brought us to not healing the world. And one of those systems, well, many of the systems are built on fear. I would say the majority of the systems that are operating right now, whether within our own mindsets or in the structure of the world, the economic structure, the business structure, the political structure, whatever all of those are, they're anchored in so much fear. And here's the thing to recognize about fear. We have two basic fears that operate and are our engines or will drive us. The fear of not getting what you want, the fear of losing what you have. The fear of not getting what you want, the fear of losing what you have. Those two things are what drive everything from advertising to politicians to our economics. I mean, truly, our economics are driven by those things. So we get to rise above those. And as David Hawkins writes, healing invokes the power of compassion, both for yourself and for others. And at that point, the healed may become a healer. So if we can move beyond that fear and heal that and dismantle that idea that there isn't enough, that we may lose what we have or somebody may take away what we want, that we can move into a greater awareness of infinite abundance. Because, by the way, we're living in this abundant, limitless universe. You and I do more by living in awake wholeness than by living in the trance of scarcity. And there is indeed a trance of scarcity. But it's up to us to shake ourselves out of it, to move out of that trance of scarcity. So some of you might have heard of Lynn Twist. She wrote this awesome book called The Soul of Money. And I'm thinking that one of our financial or our abundance workshops might need to be based on some of those principles. Because what she wrote, and this blows me away every time I read this or hear this, she says, we don't have a sufficiency problem, we have a distribution problem. We have a distribution problem. So now that right there, for one thing, feels a lot more manageable, doesn't it? There's plenty. There's plenty. There is sufficiency. In other words, this is an abundant universe, and we are sourced by a limitless presence, and it has one job, and that is to give by means of you and me. That's it. That's God's job. That's it. Our context, however, requires that we be anchored in great gratitude for life itself so that we do not stop the flow. That's the context. And the context also requires that we know that gratitude is not product or experience specific. You know, we think we have to have something to say thank you, God, for before we can say thank you, God. We think that we have to have something presented to us before we can say, I am grateful, I'm grateful. And yet, gratitude, I believe, is the very ether of life itself. It is the air we breathe, it is the space in which we move, and it is that which fuels creativity, healing, and even our very physical energy. It is gratitude. So knowing this, cultivating a sense of being thankful no longer becomes a job of looking outside of our hearts and bodies to find something to be grateful for, something to activate, and something to really trigger that thing. Instead, we can choose to align with and then find the agreement once again with the very presence and the activity of gratitude itself. Does that make sense?
Well, our next song is a song of my own from a while ago. I was thinking how all the great masters have reminded us we must become what we seek in life. So if you want peace, you must be peace. If you want love or forgiveness, etc., you must be that which you seek. We've heard that before. However, practicing that is a beautiful thing. And then, as I give that which I seek, by being it, someone receives. And as I receive from someone, I'm allowing someone else to give. So, when we do one and allow the other to come to us, we complete the circle. And hence, the title of this song, I am the circle. loved. I give and I receive. I know and I remember. I shine and light shines on me. I lift and I am lifted. I offer help and I am filled. I do not judge and I am accepted. I love all and I am whole. I love and I am loved. I give and I receive. I know, I remember. I shine and light shines on me. I lift and I am lifted. I offer help and I am filled. I do not judge and I am accepted. I love all and I am whole. I love and I am loved. I give and I receive. I know and I remember. I shine and light shines on me. I shine and light shines on me. I shine and light shines on me. God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything I know, everything you know, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything I know, everything
this is our time to distribute the givingness of God. So this is our chance to consciously be part of that law of circulation and keep it in motion. So if you'll take your gift in your hand, knowing that this gift is from that unlimited supply moving in and through as me. So I gloriously and appreciatively give, knowing that it goes forth doing Spirit's work. And our affirmation: new and rich ideas arise in my mind, and I demonstrate prosperity.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And these blessings are gratefully received as they go forth, blessing our church, our community, and our world. And so it is.
Thank you again, Lou. All right. Now, I guess we'll just go ahead and claim our good. That's what we're here for.
Hold it.
Oh, hold
Don't
it.
forget that the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we have our Thanksgiving dinner downstairs, which is a potluck.
Yep,
And
it's
that will
called
be-
Breaking Bread, and I
And
did
then
it.
we'll have the Labyrinth Walk upstairs right after that. So at 6 o'clock is the dinner, and at 7 o'clock is the Labyrinth Walk, which is at our normal Wednesday time of 7 o'clock. And that way, in case someone would like to not come to the dinner, they can come just at 7. And if someone doesn't know about any of it and they show up at 7 for the Wednesday service, they're in luck. So
Awesome for all that clarification, Mr. Hawes. Okay, so now let's claim our good. Ready? With a sense of gratitude, I see the world in a new light. Each day is an opportunity and a gift. Today, I'm finding ways to be grateful for what I have, while also being excited about what's yet to transpire. I am grateful for another day to make a positive contribution, and so it is.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place